Yonko versus the Admirals. There's theories all over the place, there's debates, discussions talking about who's stronger, if an Admiral one-on-one goes against a Yonko, who would win, and then also throwing in the Shichibukai. Let's talk about the Yonko's, Admirals, and the Shichibukai power scaling in One Piece. So throughout this overview and this power scaling work in One Piece, I'm going to be looking at the manga, common sense, and what we've seen throughout the anime, and data books. With all this information, I'm going to explain to you why the Fleet Admiral plus 3 Admirals are as strong as the 4 Emperors individually. First off, the word Yonko means 4 Emperors, and this is important because many people don't know this. If we take a look at the One Piece data book Green Secret Pieces, it is stated that the Yonko equal the Marine Headquarters plus the Shichibukai. This basically equivalates to the 4 Emperors plus their crews, all of their allied units are equal to all the Navy has to offer plus the Shichibukai. If we take a look at chapter 522, when Whitebeard is first stated that he's going to go to war for Fire Fist Ace, it says that the wars against Whitebeard, the only one they mentioned was Whitebeard himself. But obviously it was not only Whitebeard who showed up, but also his crew and all of his allies. This means within the word Yonko, the crew as well as the allied units are included by default. Now adding on to this, in One Piece chapter 432, Garp states that the Yonkos are the most powerful and also most influential pirates in the world, and the Navy are allied with the Shichibukai in order to counterbalance their power. Not only dealing with the Yonko's individual strength that they are worried about, but also their influence with the whole world, especially in the world of pirates. Now this lets you conclude the information that the word Yonko itself includes not just the individual Yonko, but its crew and anyone that's standing behind them. Leading into that, let's talk about the Shichibukai and why the Navy needs them. Now, I'm not going to say that the Admirals are individually weaker than the Yonko because of the existence of the Shichibukai, but I am saying if you look at Whitebeard's ally forces at the Marineford War, you can clearly see if all the Yonko would team up, their combined military power would far exceed the Navy's by sheer force of numbers, hence why the Navy needs the Shichibukai in order to balance things out. But comparing the Shichibukai inconsistencies of fighters like Buggy, Hancock, Crocodile, who have all been defeated by pre-time skip Luffy, Kuma, who is only a mere CPU unit at the point, or even Jinbei, most of whom, even so might be pretty powerful, are not even anywhere near the Yonko commanders in near strength. Basically what I'm saying is if you put one of the Yonko against the Shichibukai, the Yonko would just tear them apart, except Mihawk probably. Now this is further proven when you take the Shichibukai Doflamingo and his relationship with Kaido, when him and Law are talking and discussing the fact that if he doesn't supply the smiles to Kaido, he'll be eliminated by Kaido, referencing that he is weaker than Kaido and therefore he's scared of him. Also see how Jinbei's crew were subordinates of Big Mom, which also throws me off a little bit, how he was a Shichibukai when he was actually under someone else who is definitely an opposite power of the Navy. The power scale with the Shichibukai isn't necessarily supposed to go against the Yonko head on. If you take the Fleet Admiral plus the 3 Admirals, Shichibukai are supposed to level the playing field as being able to help fight against the subordinates of the Yonko. Now the Shichibukai are there to make up for missing numbers on the Navy side and kind of act like another Yonko crew on their own, with Mihawk being a captain and some other of the Shichibukai as well, though in their case they're still missing many more crew members and also their allied forces, which means it also comes down to their respective individual capabilities because they're not bringing their own crews. If we take when Whitebeard had fought the Admirals and we take all the scenarios with that, we get a little bit more of an idea of what an Admiral versus a Yonko really looks like individually. This we're going to go off of the manga primarily because the anime differs from the manga when it comes to the Marineford arc and talking about the strength of the Admirals and how strong they actually are compared to Whitebeard. Let's look at our favorite Iceman versus Whitebeard. When they faced off, it ended up being an uninjured battle, but Whitebeard ended up being protected by Jozu. If he didn't come into the battle and interfere, Whitebeard could have been injured by the ice spears. So this short fight portrayed Aokiji as the victor in the battle potentially, or at least having the upper hand against Whitebeard. Now the next fight is Kizaru and Whitebeard. The fight between Kizaru and Whitebeard was a little different because Whitebeard ended up getting holes blasted through him while Kizaru was still casual and basically just toying with him. So taking this battle for face value, Kizaru came out looking highly superior to Whitebeard. Let's take a look at everyone's favorite Magma Logia fruit user versus Whitebeard. The first encounter started off with an exchange of blows that resulted in a stalemate. Right here was an equal portrayal of physical power between both of them. In their fight, their first encounter ends with Whitebeard after his heart attack on his knees with a burning hole in his chest. Most would point out though that this was a cheap shot, though Whitebeard did do this in their next encounter, which means you either claim both did a cheap shot or both didn't. On top of it, Akinu backed off after this, even so he had the chance to finish Whitebeard off, or so it seemed. Next encounter is Whitebeard jumping Akinu from behind, strikes him with a full-powered quake blow to the back of his head, which was retaliated by Akinu immediately after by almost taking off Whitebeard's entire head. The battle ends with Akinu getting hit with a quake to his ribs while he was still in midair and falling into the fissure that opened up below him. If you only watch the anime though, it's portrayed by Akinu being incapacitated and sliding down the ground until he falls into the fissure. In the manga though, you can clearly see that he simply lost his footing, or he has no footing, and he didn't fall onto the ground. Instead he straight fell into the fissure with the ground collapsing below him. Now, one thing you can add and you can look at is that Admirals never had any help, whereas Whitebeard did consistently throughout the battle. I would like to point out that people always like to say Whitebeard was old and ill, but people like to bring this up in order to make up excuses for why Whitebeard actually wasn't stronger compared to the Admirals in this fight. I think if you look at it from case by case point, Whitebeard was outclassed in his fights against Aokiji and Kizaru rather easily. It's just then when he caught Akinu from behind that he became troublesome to the Admirals. But even then, Magma User was able to hold his own against this fight against Whitebeard. Yes, though, if you take him back to the golden era of Whitebeard being as strong as he could, would it be a different story? Most likely. Do you guys agree with my assessment on the Yonko vs. Admirals, also including the Shichibukai in this listing? Let me know down in the comments. If you guys sincerely like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to support us, head on to patreon.com/animegogowatcher. Later.